The air at San Francisco International Airport buzzed with the usual chaos of travel suitcases clattering, announcements crackling over the intercom, and lines snaking endlessly. Amid it all, a woman stood quietly in the customs queue, unassuming in a tailored black blazer, her gold stud earrings catching the dim terminal lights. Her hair was pulled into a sleek, low ponytail, and she carried a worn paperback and a slim leather case. She could have been a consultant, maybe, or a mid-level exec. But Dr. Lena Harper was no ordinary traveler. Officer Greg Sullivan, a grizzled man in his early 40s, was on his fourth straight shift. His temper was frayed, his sneer permanent. When Lena stepped forward, handing over her passport with a calm nod, he barely glanced at her before flipping through it. Dr. Lena Harper, he said, voice dripping with skepticism. What kind of doctor travels like this? She didn't answer, just held his gaze, steady and unflinching. He snorted, flipping through her passport again, noting stamps from Tokyo, Lagos, Berlin. Fancy, he muttered. This look legit to you? Without waiting for a reply, he waved her to a side room for secondary inspection. Inside the sterile, fluorescent-lit room, Lena sat across from Sullivan at a metal table. He tossed her passport onto it. Then, with a smirk, picked it up and tore it in half. The rip echoed like a gunshot. You don't fit here, he said, tossing the pieces into a trash can. Lena didn't blink. Her eyes, sharp and unwavering, locked onto his. And for a fleeting moment, Sullivan felt a chill primal instinct that he'd just crossed a line he couldn't uncross. Moments later, Lena pulled out her phone, tapped a single number, and spoke softly. Phase 4, proceed. She hung up. Almost instantly, the terminal's intercom crackled. All personnel, halt inspections in Terminal C. Await further orders. Sullivan's smirk faltered. Outside, a rookie agent named Mia Torres watched through a cracked door, her gut twisting. Lena's calm wasn't fear, it was control. The kind of control that didn't need to shout. Within minutes, the terminal ground to a halt. Flights were delayed, phones rang off the hook, and whispers spread like wildfire. 2 men in unmarked suits arrived, flashing federal IDs with no names, only clearance levels. Where's the woman in 3B? One demanded. Mia's heart raced. She'd seen Lena's face before on a Forbes cover, the quiet force behind global health tech. Dr. Lena Harper wasn't just a passenger. She was a titan, a woman who advised NATO, led a biotech empire, and had once saved a president's life in an ER. Sullivan, oblivious, stormed back into the room. What was that call about? He barked. Lena didn't answer, just sat, hands folded, as if the room belonged to her. And it did. The power had shifted, and Sullivan was starting to feel it. Outside, social media erupted. A 10-year-old named Zoe, waiting at a nearby gate, had filmed the passport rip on her phone. Her TikTok, captioned, "She didn't even flinch," hit 1 million views in 20 minutes. Gate 3B trended globally. The internet didn't know Lena's name yet, but it knew her silence was seismic. In the control room, manager Carlin Nguyen stared at a red alert on her screen. Protocol 4 activated. Source, DC. Subject, Dr. Lena Harper. Her hands shook. Protocol 4 was reserved for figures whose mistreatment could spark diplomatic fallout. Lena wasn't just a Siyash, was a global linchpin. Carla turned to her team. Full halt. Now. Gates froze. Planes stayed grounded. Passengers murmured about a VIP scandal. Sullivan, now sweating, received a note from a medic. She saved your brother's life. 2010, trauma ward. His stomach dropped. He remembered his brother's stories of a surgeon who never wavered. That was Lena. He'd torn her passport, mocked her, and now the world was watching. He stumbled to 3B, clutching the taped-up passport pieces. I didn't know, he stammered, offering them to her. Lena took them without a word, her gaze heavy with disappointment. Airport Director Victor Lang descended from his office, flanked by feds. In front of a stunned crowd at Gate 3, he spoke. Dr. Lena Harper, a global leader, was wrong today. We are ashamed. He announced Sullivan's and his supervisor's immediate termination. The crowd clapped, not loud, but real. Lena, silent, walked past, her presence parting the sea of onlookers. Zoe waved. Lena smiled back. As Lena boarded her flight, the terminal exhaled. Sullivan sat alone, a note from Lena in his hand. We forget who saves us, but we can remember now. Upstairs, Carla faced an HR panel, haunted by her own past failure under Lena's ethical review years ago. Lena hadn't punished her, she'd exposed her. By morning, Gate 3B was a global movement. Lena's silence sparked the Harper Standard, a new travel dignity code. Congress drafted the Equity Act, inspired by her restraint. Lena declined fame, writing only to Zoe, "Be brave quietly." As her plane took off, the world felt different, not because she spoke, but because she didn't need to. What do you think? Was Lena's silence a strategy or a surrender? Should Sullivan face harsher consequences, or was his shame enough? Comment below, like, and subscribe for more stories that spark debate. Word count, 2,000 characters.